The international break is in full flow, and as we said previously, it can be a fairly quiet time in the Celtic camp. However, there are a lot of moving parts in the background and still news within the Celtic space. In today's video, we'll discuss what Fabrizio Romano has said with regards to Celtic. Not only that, but we'll also go over all the latest Celtic news from the last 24 hours. But first, make sure you hit that like button and subscribe to the channel for daily Celtic content. While the hallowed halls of Celtic Park have been graced by numerous footballing legends, Henrik Larsson's name remains etched as one of the most iconic figures in the club's rich history. The Swedish forward's influence at Celtic was unparalleled, setting standards that have been hard to match, let alone surpass. Recent murmurs have emerged thanks to the ex-account Agent Scotland, comparing the performance of Celtic Kyogo to those of Larsson. Whilst no one in their right mind would prematurely label Kyogo as better than Larsson, a statistical analysis at this point in their respective Celtic careers does throw up some intriguing numbers. Game time and involvement. Both Kyogo and Larsson have been compared in their first 88 games for the club. However, the player minutes are a different story altogether. Kyogo has racked up 5,795 minutes, translating to an average of approximately 66 minutes per game. In contrast, Larsson played 7,556 minutes, which means he was on the pitch for about 86 minutes per game on average. Goal contributions. Interestingly, both forwards have netted 57 goals in these 88 games, which speaks volumes about Kyogo's ability to find the net. However, when we delve deeper into the minutes per goal, Kyogo takes a slight lead, scoring every 101 minutes compared to Larsson's every 132 minutes. 4 of Larsson's goals came in Europe compared to Kyogo's 5. In derbies, Kyogo hit the back of the net 6 times in 9, while Larsson managed just 3 in 8. But football just isn't about milestones, it's about contributing to the team's success. Here's where Larsson's genius truly shines with 19 assists. Larsson showcases all-around playmaking abilities, as opposed to Kyogo's 12 assists. When we combined both goals and assists, Larsson was involved in a goal contribution every 99 minutes, with Kyogo slightly edging him with a contribution every 84 minutes. Respect the past, acknowledge the present, there's no denying that. Kyogo's stats are impressive. His efficiency in front of goal is commendable, and his contributions have been vital for Celtic. However, stats are just one facet of the game. Larsson's sheer influence, leadership and consistent performances over the years set him apart. His more rounded role, evident from his assist count, underscores his value beyond just goals. It could also be argued that Larsson came up against better players, teams and squads over the piece. Kyogo is carving out his legacy at Celtic, and while comparisons to legends like Larsson are inevitable, they should be taken with a grain of salt. Larsson's place in Celtic's folklore is unaccessible. Kyogo with his current trajectory is certainly making a mark, but there's a long way to go before he can be spoken about in the same breath as the iconic Swede. For now, Celtic fans can cherish the memories of Larsson's brilliance while celebrating the current displays that Kyogo brings to the table. Sky Sports are reporting that Matt O'Reilly is set to be offered a brand new contract at Celtic. This comes after the player was subject to floated offers in the final day of the transfer window. In a significant boost for Celtic and the club, have successfully managed to secure the future of one of their most promising young talents, Mitchell Frame. The 17-year-old left-back, born in 2006, has agreed to new contract terms that will keep him at Celtic Park until the summer of 2026. Frame's previous deal was set to expire in 2025, but this new agreement sends a strong message about the club's commitment to nurturing homegrown talent. This news comes as a sigh of relief for the Hoops, especially considering the recent interest from several English clubs in acquiring Frame's services. The young fullback is set to put pen on paper soon, effectively putting to bed any speculation about his immediate future. Celtic's ability to hold on to Frame is particularly noteworthy, given the recent trend of young talent seeking greener pastures in more competitive leagues like the Bundesliga and the English Premier League. Ben Doak, who's another promising young player Celtic had high hopes for, recently made the jump to Liverpool and is already making waves. Similarly, Rocco Vata has a desire to leave the club with a lack of inclusion in any first-team squad plans. In this context, Frame's decision to extend his stay at Celtic is not just a contract renewal, it's a statement. It's a statement that Celtic can still be a nurturing ground for top young talent, and it's a statement that the club is still an attractive proposition for players with potential. Frame's commitment to the Hoops stops the flow of exits, even if it's just ever so slightly. Whilst the loss of talents like Ben Doak is undoubtedly a blow, Frame's new deal is a step in the right direction. The start of Celtic's Champions League journey is just around the corner, with Feyenoord awaiting Brendan Rodgers' side in the opening match. Celtic find themselves in a challenging group, as a pot 4 teams, top sides like Lazio, Feyenoord and Atletico Madrid are expected to aim for maximum points against the Scottish champions. Nevertheless, Celtic fans are optimistic, holding aspirations of a third-place group finish to ensure continued European football post-Christmas. Brendan Rodgers previously had mixed fortunes in the European competitions during his tenure. This time around, he's keen to make a significant impact on the European stage with a robust Celtic side. He's got signings in the door and now has some time to work with his players during the international break before a quite hectic schedule hits the hoops. Celtic's atmospheric prowess during European nights has often been the talk of the town, almost akin to an additional player on the field, commonly referred to as a 12th man. Discussing the Champions League challenge on TalkSport, Rodgers remarked, "It's what it's about. The football challenge of the Champions League is huge, but the supporters will go to fantastic cities, and they go in numbers. It's always going to be a challenge for Scottish teams in there. We know the numbers involved economically in the strongest leagues, but you want to show you're competitive and can go and compete, and that's what we're aiming to do. The group gives us a fighting chance, but the teams in there are very good. We aim to be competitive. The atmosphere up here is incredible. I've been lucky enough to be involved in Liverpool Man United games and Liverpool and Everton games, but there's nothing like Celtic and Rangers games, and then atmosphere teams create up here. Home games in the Champions League are incredible. I cannot wait for it." Jurgen Klinsmann was in attendance at Ibrox on Sunday, witnessing Celtic claim victory over their rivals with a 1-0 win in the season's first Glasgow derby. The coach was notably keen on observing striker Oh and winger Yang, both of whom have been selected for a South Korean squad in the upcoming fixtures against Wales and Saudi Arabia. The pair didn't start at Ibrox but came on towards the end, as Celtic looked to secure the 3 points. Whilst this isn't the first instance of Klinsmann coming to Celtic Park to scout O, it was his first visit since the signings of Yang and Kwon. The latter, Kwon, hasn't transitioned to the senior team yet, but boasts representation at youth levels. Detailing his interaction with Brendan Rodgers, Klinsmann revealed that Celtic's manager's contentment with the South Korean trio's performance. Recognising Rodgers' vast roster, Klinsmann emphasises that consistent starts for his Korean contingent may be challenging. Speaking about his exchange with Rodgers, Klinsmann shared with Sun Sport, "I have spoken with Brendan. I talked 3 weeks ago about O, but he briefed me on all 3, and he's genuinely fond of them. He's elated with their progression. He's also mentioned the vast number of players he has at Celtic, to which I responded, Brendan, I completely comprehend. I then expressed my delight that he's pleased with the trio, noting their dedication during training sessions and their attentive nature. The Korean mindset is inherently disciplined. I reassured Brendan he'd never encountered character or discipline issues with them. And his rapport with was exemplary. Both he and Brendan are not just skilled tacticians, but also exceptional man managers." Celtic fans, what are your thoughts on the youth system at the club, and do you see a clear pathway to the first team? Yes or no? Let me know down in the comment section below. That brings us to the end of today's video. Make sure you drop a like on this video and subscribe to the channel for more Celtic content. Remember, we have released our brand new Celtic t-shirts with a Brendan Rodgers Pope t-shirt and our Celtic Ultra t-shirts too. You can find them at celticapparel.com or just go down to the link in the description. Thank you, take care, bye bye.